Biak Tzu Chi volunteers traveled to Asmat Regency to distribute medical and nutritional supplies to local residents. Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers delivered Lunar New Year supplies to more than 1,000 impoverished households. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lori Chen. Thank you for joining us. For the remote islands of Indonesia, medical resources are both scarce and backward. In Papua, Biak Tzu Chi volunteers have long been concerned about issues of malnutrition and measles in children. Therefore, after a long and arduous journey, they made their way to conduct their very first distribution in Asmat Regency. The main focus of the aid supplies were on medical and nutritional needs. This is the start of a long-term great love journey.
Maka kita melihat banyaknya berguguran ini.
Many innocent children pass away each day. This makes us feel that the local situation is really serious. Therefore, we went and sought guidance from the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter on what exactly should we do to help them. After coming up with a solid plan, we headed over to provide direct assistance to the locals. It wasn't an easy trip to get there.
Memang sangat sulit, tidak gampang gitu.
I'm not afraid to say that there really is a lack of medical resources here. Every village is really in need of medical personnel because many villages are really far away from the city, so it will literally take them walking the whole entire day just to get to the nearest medical facility. For the less fortunate ones, they would never even make it to their destination before passing away en route. This is something that we must reluctantly accept. The precious lives that are taken due to distance and the lack of facilities. I'm not just making this up or dramatizing this scenario. This actually happens all the time. If the village isn't far away from a medical facility, then they can just go directly by boat for medical treatment.
Jadi untuk itulah pertama kali ini tentunya kita melihat dulu.
The distribution event this time really gave us a better understanding of how we should proceed with the long-term care plans. It's not because Tzu Chi has already spread globally, including in Papua, that we're doing this, but it's for all of humanity. Dharma Master Jungyan has taught us that we need to help those who are in need, to give them the timely and appropriate assistance that they actually need. In addition, we must put in consideration of our own abilities because none of us are invincible.
Tenaga kita, karena kekuatan kita juga terbatas.
Meskipun kita tinggal di daerah seperti begini, rumah panggung, tempat rawat seperti begini.
Although we live here in high houses above the swamp area, we still need to look out for our health. However, living in a place like this, is it possible to live a healthy life? I believe it can be done. We just need assistance from different entities to come and educate the local residents on the various ways to live a healthy lifestyle.
Staying in Indonesia, Mozambique Tzu Chi volunteers specially made a trip to visit the Sintakasi Tzu Chi school. This is because they're hoping to build a Tzu Chi local school in order to spread the seeds of great love to all the impoverished children, giving them hope for a better future. They hope they can take in as much of the school's success stories and precious experiences over the years and bring it back to Mozambique to keep on spreading Tzu Chi's education mission worldwide. Mozambique Tzu Chi volunteers traveled to Indonesia to visit the Sintakasi Tzu Chi school located in the Singkawang area. This was because the primary school in Mozambique only has 27 classrooms, but need to occupy a total of 6,000 students. Therefore, the volunteers hope to build a new school in order to pass on humanistic cultural education.
I mean, we've seen Tzu Chi school in Taiwan, but the biggest difference is that actually the Indonesians went to Taiwan and brought it to Indonesia and adapt according to the local, situation. And our coming here is actually for us to take the experience of Indonesia and go back to Mozambique and apply it.
During the visit, students took the initiative to greet the volunteers with courteous manners. It had left a deep impression. The values of gratitude, respect, and love could be seen in all corners of the school, from the classroom to everyday life.
I think what remains constant is Tzu Chi's humanistic culture. One can really both see and feel it firsthand while interacting with the students. The Tzu Chi spirit is really ingrained in both the students and teachers at the school. It's also contained the entire foundation, structure, and curriculum. It can be felt within the whole atmosphere.
The solid experiences of Tzu Chi's education mission in Indonesia has allowed Mozambique volunteers to exchange precious lessons and be more motivated than ever. Turning our cameras to China, in Sichuan, the Yi tribe is located in the remote mountains, where financial stability isn't easy to come by. Therefore, many individuals will leave the tribe to go work in the city. Upon learning the situation, Tzu Chi volunteers have gone and sent their love and care to a total of 149 households.
After the shower, the road to the old tea factory is muddy. It's not an easy task to pick tea leaves. However, this is the most hopeful chance for the Yi people to rise from their impoverished life.
I remembered my parents used to carry corn and peanuts down to the mountain to sell them, but they could only go once a day because it was far away. It was difficult to walk on the bumpy roads.
Indeed, it was a very difficult situation. It started to snow around August and September up on the high mountain.
Chen Zhe was the village chief back in his hometown. He remembered the hardship in the past, so he tried his best to not let his children walk the same path. Even though he has slightly improved the life condition, the life is still challenging.
Many people move here from remote mountainous areas to seek a better life. They will celebrate the Lunar New Year here with the locals. We hope to provide them some commodities like oil, rice, and noodle, so that they can feel a sense of comfort here.
The items we received, like blankets, oil, and noodle, are all very useful.
I've come here for 24 years. My child went to both junior and high schools here. I wasn't educated, and I've never went to a school, but I'm happy that my child received education. Although I'm illiterate, I'm glad that my child can read and write.
They work hard to turn their life around in hopes to provide the younger generation a more promising future. They finally found hope here with Tzu Chi's love and care.
Staying in China, most of the sanitation workers are from remote areas or are dealing with financial difficulties. During this winter, local Tzu Chi volunteers have once again delivered love and warmth to them. Besides showing gratitude for their contribution of making the city cleaner, prepaid debit cards were also distributed to ease their burden.
Before the sun has risen, the sanitation workers have already started their work.
In China, most of the sanitation workers are struggling with everyday life as they have to support their family financially. Tang Zhiqiang is among them. Besides his elderly mother, he also needs to take care of his wife, who is mentally challenged, as well as supporting his child to go to university.
每天工作好多个小时了。也11个小时的一样的。10几个小时。
But Mr. Tang is a very positive person. As the Lunar New Year is coming, Tzu Chi volunteers have paid a visit to his home. In addition, the money that he earned from collecting recyclables was all donated to Tzu Chi. However, he felt sorry that he couldn't contribute more.
能力有大小，实际里头最重要的是，无论能力大小的人汇合在一起。
3
years ago, he met Tzu Chi volunteers at a winter event. He has been donating to help ever since, such as the severe flood in Hunan 2 years ago and last year's Hualien earthquake. Moreover, he has been caring for the seniors at the nursing home. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers in Changsha City have delivered care and love to nearly 300 impoverished sanitation workers. Besides delivering eco-friendly scarves, the prepaid debit cards were also given to the workers. The volunteers hope they can spend a wonderful new year with their family.
In Vietnam, they also celebrated Lunar New Year. Therefore, Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers delivered love and gifts to more than 1,000 impoverished households. Early in the morning, the road is covered in fog. Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers are already on their way to deliver Lunar New Year gifts to the local residents. Tzu Chi volunteers held the distribution in Hanoi City's Chuyomi district. Among the recipients, 70% of the people were once affected by floods.
We decided to hold the distribution in Chuyomi district because this area was affected by floods several times during the past 2 years. Therefore, many residents really need the assistance.
The Vietnamese people have been influenced by the Chinese culture. Therefore, the local residents also celebrate the Lunar New Year. For this special occasion, the volunteers have distributed supplies to a total of 500 impoverished households. I just recently finished my chemotherapy rounds. Right now, I'm receiving ovarian cyst treatments. The cost is very expensive, and I must go every month. Today, I'm very grateful to receive the Lunar New Year gifts. The supplies are just what we really needed. Thank you for your help.
After participating in today's distribution, it's really true that we receive more in return when we give. So if I am lucky to be selected as the president of the Hanoi Taiwanese Chamber of Commerce at the end of this year, I will definitely be more active in participating in charity events. We need to do more to help the people in need.
The volunteers continue their journey to the Sok Chom province. This is the first time that the volunteers visited this area. During the 2-day distribution event, the volunteers saw many elderly recipients from various ethnic minorities. Their smiles light up the whole venue.
I'm grateful to receive these gifts, which are filled with all of your love. These gifts are very meaningful to me. I'm very happy.
We're so happy that Tzu Chi is here to care for us. I can feel the unconditional love from the volunteers.
I saw many young people wearing the volunteer vests. They were all very respectful and well-mannered. I was very touched by their demeanor. I'm very joyful that you guys are here today.
During the 2-day event, the volunteers also went to deliver supplies for the visually impaired individuals. Knowing their difficulties in moving about, the volunteers assisted them one by one to receive the goods.
Representing the visually impaired community of the Sok Trang province, I wanted to thank Tzu Chi Foundation for coming to care for us.
Seeing the beaming smiles upon the residents' faces, the volunteers believe that they will have a wonderful Lunar New Year.
Zhang Jingsheng is a Tzu Chi volunteer in Geelong. Both of his parents worked in the mining industry and they grew up with many hardships. However, he has always been a filial child. Now that his mother is of old age and suffers from dementia, he has taken it upon himself to be her 24-hour caregiver. He hopes that his mother can age with dignity while surrounded by all the people that she loves. For helping his mother put on lip balm to brushing her hair, there isn't anything that the 45-year-old Tzu Chi volunteer, Zhang Jingsheng, can't do. Grandma Zhang, who suffers from dementia, fell at home about 1.5 years ago. Therefore, her son decided to quit his car repair job so that he can concentrate on taking care of both his mother and his mentally challenged brother.
He would take my mother everywhere to get her medications. It's all him, taking care of their everyday needs.
As long as the weather is good, he would seize the opportunity to take his mother out for an outing. However, a trip out really isn't as easy as it looks. Carrying his mother down 3 flights of stairs, this is the ultimate gesture of unconditional love.
When they were mining, they would work 24-hour shifts. Many times they never slept through the night. Then in the mornings, she would still have to make us breakfast and take care of us. Then it's back to work.
Thinking about how much his mother has done for him, all his tiredness instantly disappears. He feels as if he can never reciprocate enough of her love.
She has been working so hard all her life. She's never asked for anything, so we can't just easily give up on her either.
Ever since he was little, he's had a heart condition, so now he still needs to continue taking a handful of pills each day.
He works very hard to take care of our mother. His health isn't great either. He has a heart condition.
In order to prevent his mother's swallowing function from deteriorating, Zhang Jingsheng has replaced the doctor-recommended nasogastric tube with a feeding bottle. Even if it takes 30 to 40 minutes for each feeding session, he enjoys the bonding time with his mother while she can age with dignity. In our continuous series on water resources around the world, we will continue to explore further on the use of reclaimed water in Japan. Let's take a look at our in-depth report. How to produce clean water in a world experiencing drought? What should one do? The advent of reclaimed water technology is one way to quench thirst. Entering bustling downtown Tokyo, where there are many commercial buildings there, it's also the largest water purification filter film company in Japan.
What we place here can measure your heartbeat.
The company sells everything from medical equipment to textiles, but water purification film is their signature produce. The filter technology can even clean sewage water. The principle is based on dialysis, as scientists found that the thin liquid can be separated from thick liquid when pressurized, ultimately making the liquid being filtered clean. This is what is called reverse osmosis, is like this.
The raw water to be filtered enters from here, passes through because of pressure, passing through the membrane to produce filtered water, which then finally flows out through the tube in the filter.
Filters can process almost any kind of water. It is like the seawater desalination, which is actively developed in water-scarce countries. The traditional seawater desalination uses distillation, which requires heating seawater. But if it is decelerated through a film, it can save 30 to 40% of the energy.
The RO membrane also uses energy, but it reduces energy consumption by 30 to 40% when compared to seawater distillation.
The reason why the water purification film is useful depends upon the pores that are invisible on the film. According to the size of the pores, the film is divided in several types. The FM film has a pore size of 0.1 micrometer and can only filter sediment in the water, such as suspended particles. The RO membrane with the smallest pores, with a size of 0.1 nanometer, is 1/500,000th of the diameter of the hair. This kind of filter keeps bacteria and viruses out and can be considered truly pure water.
The size of the ions determines the surface of the film. The MF membrane filters large ions, and RO filters 99.8% ultra-pure water.
Filters can also be used to make sterilized water, as this technology has applications ranging from pharmaceutical, dialysis, cosmetics, household drinking equipment, and other uses. Twisting the faucet in this bathroom is a hotel in Chiba Prefecture. It is very close to Tokyo Disneyland, with an occupancy rate as high as 98% and sometimes full. The water consumption is considerable, with 5.50 million tons per day, or the equivalent of $88,000 per month. To help control water fees, the company has done some quick thinking.
From here, it goes through a pump, and the water is sent to the hotel. Each day provides 350 tons of water for drinking, bathroom use, and toilet.
It turns out that the clear water in the toilet in this hotel was all groundwater from wells. This is not unusual. What was even more shocking is that the underground water sent to the hotel turned out to look like this. Looking at the yellow turbine groundwater in the cup, there are still unknown white impurities. So do you really think it's okay to drink such scary water as well as bathe with it?
Basically, the reason why the water is yellow is the nearby soil. It contains a lot of organic matter.
The company extracted yellow groundwater from a 100-meter deep well. After filtering through UF and RO membranes, it magically became pure. The filters limited organic matter and bacteria, so the yellow groundwater turned into clear water. Or to make us feel at ease, company representatives even drank it for us on the spot. Originally, tap water costs $4 per ton, and the well water is only $2 per ton, which can successfully replace 60% of the tap water in the hotel, saving more than $15,000 per month, or equivalent to 1/5 of the water fee. The water filtration system, in addition to saving money, also has long-term considerations.
At the time of the 311 Fukushima earthquake, tap water supply was nearly stopped, but this filtration equipment was able to continue to supply water.
Building a system like this, it costs more than $875,000, but it can apply water all year round, with many believing it is worth it. Although this filter technology costs money and energy, its benefits becoming more apparent, and is the best way for humans to prepare themselves for extreme climate conditions.
In Canada, Vancouver Tzu Chi volunteers held a Lunar New Year blessing ceremony. They invited both local volunteers and the public to come and enjoy a hot pot feast together. They also seized the occasion to sincerely pray for no more disaster in the world. Thank you for watching. See you next time.